As your consciousness grows, you have the opportunity to make choices about how you interact with your information. The Stream Kayak Principle is designed to give you a structure to navigate your way through that information. Let's start with the fundamentals. The river or stream represents your life, and its natural current flows downstream. Now let's say that each and every person gets a kayak to stay afloat in that stream of life. This kayak represents your consciousness. One person, one boat, and everything that you need to move along the river of life is right there in the kayak. There are 3 parts to this principle: embodying the essence of living downstream, learning to identify the trouble in the water, and navigating through the information that caused the trouble in the water. Part 1 is embracing life downstream. As each person and kayak float on the water, the natural tendency is to follow the current straight downstream. Picture yourself in your kayak and feel that natural flow. Now, think about the times in your life when you were in perfect rhythm, in complete unison with your surroundings. It is the sensation of effortlessness, when you feel no struggle against life. Some people call this synchronicity, when everything moves in harmony. This is the ideal circumstance. Your paddles are in your boat and you are kicking back, just basking in the sunshine and the flow of your life. Part 2 is being able to identify trouble in the water. There are 3 main scenarios that create trouble in the water: putting 2 people in a 1-person kayak, paddling upstream, and being out of your kayak altogether. Each of these scenarios may feel good for a time, but in the long run are just not sustainable. Squeezing 2 people in a 1-person boat may feel secure, safe, and even more fun for a while, but it causes the boat to be sluggish. Your boat is your consciousness. If you are relying on someone else for your consciousness, or if you are carrying someone else's consciousness, there's potential for trouble in the water. Paddling upstream is you struggling against the current of life. You can feel it. Your mind, your attention, and your consciousness are focused on the struggle. With every stroke of your paddle, you are fighting against the natural flow of where life wants to take you. Being out of your boat altogether. This is where you feel overwhelmed, where you are struggling to survive. It is so hard to be conscious and create movement forward when all of your energy is spent keeping your head above water. Part 3 is where you navigate through your information. Once you know where you are in relationship to your boat and the water, or your conscious awareness and the flow of life, you can navigate through the information that got you to this place. Let's look at this in steps. The first step, identifying. You identify a statement from the scenario that caused you to create trouble in the water. The second step, acknowledging. It is important to acknowledge the contrast in your situation. You must see where you're having trouble in the water versus floating downstream. The third step, shifting. You're consciously shifting your statement so that you can position your kayak to its naturally downstream facing direction. This creates room and sets the intention for how you interact with the 4th and 5th step. In steps 4 and 5, you will go deeper into your heart so that you can make a conscious shift in your story. The 4th step, gathering. You will gather the information about how you ended up having difficulty in the water. You will need to find the essence or undercurrent behind the statement that you identified. Then, find the first time in your life that you experienced that essence or undercurrent. This is where you find the old pile of information that no longer is serving you and is causing you to have trouble in the water. And the 5th step, embracing and harmonizing. You will embrace the information you have gathered so that you can harmonize your heart. Identifying your statement, acknowledging your contrast, shifting your statement, gathering your information, embracing and harmonizing your heart. This is the river of your life. Are you going to just survive it or bask in its brilliant flow as you write your story?